I want to talk for a minute about worthiness to achieve our goals. Because a huge part, we're here talking about a specific piece, our relationship with food, but a huge piece of how we create ourselves in the world, whether consciously or unconsciously, and how we specifically make change within ourselves is really, really attached to our sense of worthiness. Do I deserve to be thin and fit? Do I deserve to feel healthy and well? And do I deserve to enjoy my food? Do I enjoy enjoying my food, or do I like feeling guilty about my food? There are all of these reasons why we make the choices we make when we feel guilty about things or we feel shamed of our choices. And there are all these things that we are, sort of putting off in terms of our sense of worthiness, right? If we are thin, we might get attention sexually or from men in ways that feel dangerous or scary. If we are, in those experiences of being who we want or vibrant and alive, maybe there are challenging experiences from our past where we felt really vibrant and alive and bad things happen, challenging things. In the NLP world, the neuro-linguistic programming, which is where predominantly my training is in this behavior change-making stuff, we talk about secondary gain. So, we have a goal, but when we don't achieve that goal, we're actually achieving something else, and that something else is the secondary gain. It's the thing we get from not getting the thing we say we want. And for a lot of people, that's actually, I say I want, the weight loss or the lack of gastrointestinal issues, or the mental health shifts, or the feeling in control. But actually, like deep in our subconscious, we actually feel more comfortable, but not necessarily safer, feeling out of control, or we feel safer, but not necessarily more beautiful, feeling fat or ugly, or judging our bodies, or we feel more in control of feeling exhausted, tired, and lethargic, rather than having boundless energy we don't know what to do with, that probably got shamed when we were a young child going into school and be like, sit down, shut up, and not being in that place of like our natural exuberance and our vibrancy as children, right? A lot of us weren't encouraged in that, myself included, right? And so being in those, like being able to see what is the secondary gain, I've tried this before and it hasn't worked, and the thing that happened, or the thing that I got out of it not working, is I got to be right. I got to be still judging myself. I got to be in drama. I got to get excited and fail, and those are all, what's the best part about failing? Oh, you get to try again. Oh, there's more learning. Oh, I have a soul contract to, continue exploring this. So I have a wide breadth of knowledge about what's going on, or, all of these sort of things where you go like, oh yeah, there is a good thing that came out of it. Now, and then when you look at this, it not only gives you the awareness of why you might be stopping yourself, but it also helps move us into gratitude for the experiences and the it didn't works, because a lot of women especially have been on fad diets. We've been on this, we've been on that, we've restricted this, we've restricted that, and didn't necessarily get the results we were looking for. And I'll talk more about that in the video on like stress, and how actually stress is one of the biggest pieces that stops us from getting our goals in all areas of life, but especially in our food diet experiences. But there are positives, right? We are addicted to the chemicals of stress. We are addicted to the chemicals of drama. And so I'm going to show you with the GuiltGasm process also, if you do take that like mini piece, the mini course or whatever, and watch those videos, about how to really anchor that into your nervous system in a positive way, so you can create a positive cycle of loving the drama because it helps you connect with your highest, most beautiful self, as opposed to loving the drama because it's scary and challenging and we feel like, right? We want to fully complete those emotional cycles so we get into homeostasis and into a really good feeling, as opposed to getting caught in the like tiny releases of stress, as opposed to like fully releasing, It wasn't very sexy, but I don't need to feel guilty about it. That was a good little joy. That was a gasm joy there. You don't even have to do it in the right order for it to be effective. Anyway, so the idea is that we can shift the way that we perceive ourselves and step into that idea of worthiness in order as part of the process, right? Every time we notice judgment, shame, guilt, fear, agony, intensity that's unpleasant, intensity that's pleasant even, self-criticism, self-judgment, uh, anxiety, depression, any of those things, we can utilize those as a reminder, as a tool. Go back to the practice, go back to the practice, go back to the practice. Because people who are really good at being in self-criticism, being in these challenges, are also really good at noticing those practices, those challenges. And then when you add this last piece in, you become very good at completing the emotional cycle loops. And it's really potent how quickly things transform, and you're able to move into a place where you're really much more in control of how your body's feeling in any given moment, more in control of your energy, more grounded and rooted in your body, more connected to your pleasure, more connected to your desire, more connected to your capacity to align desire, pleasure, and fulfillment together, which is really, really, really where you want to be. And that is why our sense of worthiness, not necessarily like, oh, I need to become more worthy. It's just like when we complete these cycles of emotional unprocessedness, as we do that and as we align our behaviors and our actions and our beliefs all into one nice, then worthiness is a natural byproduct of that. It's not something we have to work towards. It's just something that happens as we integrate more and more, and as we self-parent and as we mutually co-parent, and co-regulate in the chat groups and the experience that we share together. As we do that, we're able to move into a space of connecting with each other and really resolving all of those, not just some, right? We're resolving all of those unmet pieces and all those unmet needs. And we're also shifting the journey from, I need to heal, I'm so broken, into, oh, there's another thing for me to love. Oh, there's another reason for me to feel really good in my body. Oh, I noticed I'm in self-judgment again, instead of being like, I hate myself, this is so terrible, why am I like this? Trust me, I've done more than my fair share of that in the world, I'm pretty sure, because Virgo, wow. So there's this experience where we can shift. And being really good at being self-critical helps us be really good at fixing the self-criticalness once we have this key piece of alchemizing it and regaining our power in that way in a very, very short process. It takes so much more time to talk about than it does to do, but that's the fun, and I love talking, so don't need to feel guilty about it. Thanks for spending your time with me, and I'd love to hear what you got out of this video. What are your secondary gains? What are the things that you get out of not shifting and not changing? How can you be more potent and powerful with yourself, and more clear and honest with yourself about why you failed in the past to make the kind of changes you want to make, and what it is that you're going to notice, right? What are those phrases in your brain? What are the experiences? What are the things you're reaching for, that really cause you to shift and move out of alignment with your highest and most beautiful self and shift into sort of those compulsive addictive patterns that keep you in those cycles that, the secondary gain, that piece. And what are you committing to do when you notice that? Are you committing to the practice? Are you committing to being aware and that's it? Are you committing to celebrate? Are you committing to GuiltGasm? Are you committing to GuiltGasm? What is it that you want to do? What is your accountability system? Oh, that's us here. Oh, you're already on that. But delve into that journey and sort of piece it apart for yourself already if you haven't. Thanks again for being here. And I look forward to the next piece, which is all about how we handle stress in our bodies and how we actually move from challenge states into alchemy states. Ooh, so good.